Hi everyone, welcome to Career Views. I am Nancy. I'm the founder and principal consultant of Career Views, and I keep sharing my career tips with different professionals who have different concerns regarding certain topics. The most caught on trend has been the notice period. I'm getting a lot of questions and a lot of queries regarding notice period. How much notice period should be? What do we do in certain situations? So in this video today, I'm going to talk about notice period under different situations. But before I start the video, I would request you to subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that you don't miss any of the career tips from me. So without any further ado, let's get started with the notice period clauses. The first thing is the notice period under probation period. So I normally get a lot of questions. I'm on probation. I have decided to leave my job. How much should be my notice period? To which my generalized reply is, look at your contract. But certain companies play very smart. There is no clauses clearly written. So let's talk about the normal contractual clauses for the notice period. There are generally 3 clauses that one must look for. If you are on probation and you have worked with an organization for less than 1 month, your notice period should be less than a week during probation, if nothing is written in your contract. In this case, you can give 1 week or less than 1 week's notice if you have only been working for less than 1 month with the organization. Probation period varies in different organizations. Generally, probation period is from 1 month to 6 months, depending on the position and whatever your contract says. So if you have been with a company from 1 month to 6 months and you are still on probation and you decide to make a move, in that case, if there is nothing mentioned in the contract, 1 month notice period is mandatory for any of the staff to provide to the organization, because you have handover formalities to complete during that time. If there is nothing mentioned in your contract and you have completed your probation period, in that case, between you and employer, an agreed period should be 1 month. It could be less depending on the negotiation, but 1 month is a general norm after an employee completes the probation period. We have spoken about the contractual notice period during probation or even after passing the probation. After talking about the contractual notice periods, let's talk about statutory notice periods. If in this case there is nothing mentioned in the contract, there are 3 types of obligations from an employee side regarding the notice period. The staff who has been working from 1 month to 2 years is liable to serve 1 week's notice period. In this case, it could be agreed and discussed between the employee and the employer. But in general, it has to be 1 week notice for an employee who has been working from 1 month to 2 years. The staff who has signed a contract to serve the tenure of 2 years is liable to serve 2 weeks notice. Lastly, it could be taken as 1 week every year after completion of 2 years with the employer. If there is nothing mentioned in the contract, every employee that completes 2 years should serve 1 week's notice following those 2 years. For example, if an employee has served 10 years at a company, he's liable to serve 10 weeks notice period. But to be safe side, an employer must clearly mention in the contract what are the various clauses regarding an employee's notice period to avoid any confusion. If there is nothing in return, neither of the parties could go to the labor court in that case. Nobody could go and claim their legal rights. Neither the employers could stop an employee from leaving, or they have any right over employee through a legal contract that would make the employee work for them. It's a free will of the employee. If there is no notice period clause being mentioned in the contract, an employee can resign and leave within these periods based on their contractual agreement. Some of the organization exempt any notice period to an employee who has been with the organization for less than a month. If an employee is on a temporary contract or is working as a contractual staff for a very short period of time, such employees are exempted to serve any kind of notice. Now let's talk about payment in lieu. Payment in lieu is the salary that you pay to your employer for not serving notice. If your legal employment contract has a clause that you have to serve a notice period, and for example you got a job where you have to join immediately and pays you way better, in this case I recommend people to settle it down through a payment in lieu. They should pay their per day salary and get an early release provided it is mentioned in their contract. If they are legally abide by a contract to serve notice for a certain period of time, in that case, an employee can settle it down through payment of lieu by paying per day salaries of the remaining notice period. There is another related clause, which is time in lieu. For example, an employee has got another job offer and he wants a time in between to join another organization, but he doesn't want to serve the notice at this point. If his contract is getting over by the 30th and he doesn't want to be available and he wants to go on a vacation, then he has to work, if his job allows, during the weekends or during some holidays to complete his work. This is done through a proper paperwork and signed by the employer and employee. That employee gives time in lieu to do the notice period later on. This is always an option upon the agreement between an employer and an employee, that employee can complete the tasks. For example, IT professionals, sometimes they work remotely. He could do a night shift and cover up his notice period, not necessarily being there in the organization during his notice period. So this term is known as time in lieu. And this is also an option to avoid serving the exact notice period at the said time, but doing it at a convenience. The last option of avoiding notice is called gardening leave. Sometimes employer wants an employee to leave immediately, though there is a clause mentioned in the contract for serving notice period. In some cases, an employee, for example, being met an accident, is sent on a gardening leave where employee is not physically fit to come and perform the notice period, or an employer wants the employee to go. In that case, employee is being said to be sent on a gardening leave without serving a notice, but employee gets the release letter, they get paid in full in case of gardening leave. But it has to be backed up with some medical records, with some notices, some medication proofs from the doctor. Whatever the policy of the organization says about gardening leave, that has to be followed. An agreement has to be done and signed by both employer and the employee. I hope this gave you some clarity on the notice period. I have made several videos about exit interviews, notice period, probation period. I would leave a link of all of those videos. I hope you found them useful. Do check them out and let me know in the comments how did you found this video. If you've not subscribed to the channel, please click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon. Stay tuned to Career Views. Visit my website www.careerviews.com for more career blogs and career tips. Thank you for watching.